Everybody is afraid of something, be it from fear of spiders to fear of the dark, getting hurt, or simply being scared of change. Trust me, I get it. We're all human. We have all evolved from the fight or flight response. Our ancestors obviously survived to this day and age, and if we didn't have this psychological response to stress, well, we wouldn't be able to perceive harmful events and react to them adequately. The theory behind this is that animals react to threats with a general discharge of the sympathetic nervous system, preparing that said animal for fighting and or fleeing. In medical terms, it's called the general adaptation syndrome, which regulates the stress response. Science aside, the problem is that sometimes we get too comfortable in our comfort zone. Like getting stuck in a toxic relationship but not wanting to leave because you're simply scared of the unknown. By not reacting and simply not doing anything, people will eventually flatline in their current state. Happiness, joy, success, and all of these things can be acquired from life, but they take an enormous amount of effort. At the same time, we have so much pressure from our parents, family, friends, and society to get diplomas, a career, settle down, start a family, and make money. Problem is, what will make them happy is not what will make you happy. Only you can determine what is good for you. That's why having all this pressure coming from all directions will create enormous fear of not succeeding or attaining these goals. But are these the real goals that you want to achieve? That being said, and going back to this whole topic of conquering your fears, there are a bunch of steps that you can do that will help you overcome your fears and succeed in the life that you want to attain. Number 1, recognize your fears. By this I mean that you need to be able to make the difference between what is actual fear and what is fear given to you by the people around you. Real fears are the things that can actually put your life in danger. An example of this is crossing a busy street without looking left or right. Well, if you walk without paying attention, eventually a car will hit you. Fake fears can be the ones told to you by your society. An example of this is if you don't get a diploma, you will never be able to have a good paying job. This is totally untrue. There are many successful people that have never gotten a diploma and they have amazing careers. Obviously, if you are seeking a job in the medical field or some specific fields that absolutely need a diploma, then not getting one will hinder you. But I'm not talking about these examples. I'm talking about the fact that a diploma does not equal a career. On the contrary, it might actually hinder you because going to school in the USA is super expensive, so you might have a diploma but having an enormous debt after graduating. Conquering your fears usually means taking the information that's given to you and logically going over it through your research in order to come with your conclusion on the subject. Number 2, don't worry so much. Fear and worry actually walk hand in hand. It's more acceptable to worry about something, but it's also embedded in fear. It's kind of like fear talking to worry. By that I mean that everybody has fears of certain things, but when you stop and look back on your fear, then worry creeps in. It's that voice in your head that goes through all the alternative scenarios and that blocks you from taking action. Again, there's a difference between fears that will harm your body or life and fears that are just preconceived but not actually going to put you in danger. An example of this is not asking questions about something because you are scared of being judged. We are an accumulation of our past experiences. Whatever good or bad experiences happen in our life, well, they become these preconceived ideas that make us into the person that we are now. We are the memory of our own past that seeks to look to the future. The past is the past, the future is the future. None of these exist anymore, or don't exist yet. We only have the current present moment. So stop worrying about what happened in the past or could happen in the future. Only the current moment exists, so act upon your fears and worry less. Number 3, listen to your inner voice. We are constantly worried with our own lives. This means that we will often compare ourselves to others. Thing is, everybody has their own pace. It's not because one of your friends became successful at 23, or most of your other friends already have families, or heck, they seem so happy because they are traveling all the time. It doesn't mean anything. It's easy to compare oneself with other people, but it's wrong to do so. Everybody has a different pace in life, and you need to be to your own rhythm. What seems ideal on social media might not be so ideal behind closed doors. Maybe the fact that you didn't get stuck in a career at a young age will allow you to find a better path now because you are more wise than you would have been in your early 20s. Same goes with people getting married and having children at a young age. Life expectancy literally 100 years ago was 48.1 years for a male and 51 years for a female. Nowadays, retirement is in our mid-60s. Life expectancy is 76.4 years for males and 81.2 years for females. So much stuff has changed in the past 2 decades. Internet, social media, artificial intelligence have completely changed our way of living. How you think the future will be is going to be completely different than you could have ever imagined. Listen to your heartbeat and beat to the sound of its own drum. Number 4, observe and react. What's strange about fears is that we try to avoid them. The thing is that if we avoid them, then there is little we can do to fight them. I personally believe that everyone needs to face their fears. You're not going to be able to overcome them right away, but by looking into them and facing your fears, you will be able to take initial steps in order to beat whatever is holding you back. Let go of your egos. Understand that we are all living beings. We as humans like to put people on pedestals. Celebrities, royalties, YouTube influencers, politicians, and whoever you look up to. It's good to listen to other people and try to learn and understand what messages they're conveying, but in the end, we all are born, have fears, love, hate, cry, feel lonely, and sometimes even feel so overwhelmed with joy that we love life to the fullest. Also, don't punish yourself for having fears. It's all natural and part of being alive. Understand that they are not permanent and that by observing them, you will be able to become more aware of them to ultimately conquer whatever is holding you back. In Zen Buddhism, it's called the space of mind. As you make this into your spiritual practice, you will be able to create a space of peace within your head, relaxing your mind and making your fears disappear. Number 5, practice makes perfect. This exercise of relaxing your mind takes a lot of repetition. Kind of like how you can feel exhausted, then the moment you lie down in bed, all these thoughts pop up in your head and you find it impossible to fall asleep. Disciplining yourself to look into yourself on a regular basis will take a lot of effort from your part. Sometimes seeking help from professionals, such as psychologists, may make a tremendous difference, but without actually putting in some work from your part, it may be hard to overcome your fears. But if you are already observing your fears, you are well ahead of being able to actually break them down. Practice over and over again until you can relax your mind and use what you think you knew and create new habits. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. As always, please subscribe and hit the like button. Comments are always appreciated too. I'd love to know what your fears are and what you did in order to overcome them. We are all human after all, and being human means having fears. Remember this, if you're watching this video, you're alive. Being alive means that you are breathing, and as long as you are breathing, you can make the world as well as yourself a better place. Don't forget to live and make the best out of what you have. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.